can't believe I'm actually doing this.
You're gonna love it.
Good morning. I'm feeling very nervous. Mike's creeping in.
We're about to do something very exciting.
We're not. So it was Mike's birthday the other day, and I decided to book him a little gift. It was supposed to be a secret, but he had to be the driver for this trip, and I think it kind of gave it away a bit. Because this present is something that he's done a fair amount of research in, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as soon as I told him the location, I was like, You were like,
I knew straight away.
You knew what it was.
I was very cluey into that.
Were you surprised? What did you kind of think? You were like, no, she wouldn't book that.
Well, I wasn't surprised. I was more like, oh my god, so excited. But I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if he'd book or not.
How did you know it was something I was going to book?
Well,
you have gotten all in your
Oh, I know. Well, because we met that man the week before at the 6-foot track.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a base jumper, and my eyes were lighting up. I was like, that would be so cool. And then it was just so convenient. We were going down to Wollongong, where it's the best skydiving in the region. So I was like, well,
Mike gave it away.
I'm too smart.
We go skydiving, and as a lot of you guys may have known, I'm petrified of heights. So skydiving definitely wasn't on my bucket list, but I thought, you know, we've got to get rid of the fear somehow, and we're working on it. You know, Mike took me abseiling, and that was beyond petrifying, just hanging off this edge. Canyoning. And we've taken it up a notch. Now we're going skydiving.
Yeah. And we're going to have a lot more heights in the future, because I love hanging off cliffs. So, I guess you're going to learn to love it.
I don't think I'd use the word love, but I think I'll learn to deal with it a bit better. So we're literally outside of the skydive place. I think we have about 5 minutes before we have to go in. They don't really say a huge amount of what we're doing, but of course we're going to have to go through some sort of safety briefing and how we're supposed to do it. And yeah, this one is it the highest one? So there was one in Sydney, and then this one's about an hour and a bit out of Sydney.
Yeah,
and we're going up to 15,000 feet.
This is so exciting.
Really not. We were told to wear kind of loose-ish clothing, which I don't really have, so I'm wearing leggings, and I've also got a pair of these Hoka shoes, and
I've got my good pants on, because they're the only
trousers.
My good trousers on, because they're the only trousers I own. And my trail running shoes, because they're the only shoes I have that will stay on my feet. And my work hoodie.
We're gonna put are you putting your black fleece on? I'm gonna put a black fleece on.
I think I'm just gonna leave my hoodie on.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put a fleece over this as well. We also bought these special little cases. So my GoPro, I don't know why, I'm just having so many problems with it at the moment. You've got Mike and I these kind of waterproof phone cases, so we can film out of them. I don't actually know if we're going to be allowed to take them in because of the straps, but I think we're going to try and do up the strap as much as possible over our wrist. And
they are cockatoos.
Cockatoos. We always get birds in the video. And then I've got my GoPro strap as well, because that's tighter against the wrist, so hopefully we'll be able to take these on. But I thought these would be great, not just for skydiving, but we're also planning a trip, which I'm not saying anything about
Don't say it yet.
Not saying it yet, but it's a trip which I've dreamt of for so long, and I'm so excited. So we're in the process, aren't we? We were sitting down yesterday planning out what we're doing and how long for, all of the...
But we've booked it in too.
Yeah.
It's deposit paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've booked it in, and it's super exciting. Anyway, I thought these are full-on waterproof, dive-proof. Yeah. So we'll see how they go, and hopefully they let us in. Oh, well, that's the little bus. So there's a skydive. Can you hold this for a second? This is the skydive bus that's just pulled up. So that means we gotta get going. Oh my gosh, there's cockatoos.
We actually gotta get going because we're meant to be in there right now.
Okay, we're going. Wish me luck.
Hello.
You jumping today?
Yes.
Laura.
Hey Laura, how do you feel about your jump?
I don't know.
How do we feel?
Hello! Welcome to Skydiving Australia Wollongong. So we're doing a jump, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Is this your first time?
First time?
Fantastic. Are you excited?
Yes.
Any nerves?
Yes.
Yes.
Emotions.
Well, you've picked an absolutely beautiful day. It's blue skies above us. It's going to be fantastic. Is there anything you want to say to family or friends before we go? Final farewells or anything like that?
Time to fly.
If you want to go right, you just pull down to the right one.
That makes
Good job, Laura. Practice. You know, just yeah. Okie dokie. So we're gonna be landing pretty soon. It's gonna feel fast. Not gonna lie to you. You just keep your legs up, and I will do all of the work. Okay?
So where would you like me to put my legs up?
Right. Yep, perfect. Good job. Alright, stand up for me. Right, now we'll do it. Hold on.
Hello, Laura. Hello.
You made it. Congratulations. How was it? Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Still can't pass all the experience. So what was your favourite part? The falling or the parachute?
Free falling.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna die.
Yeah. Would you do it again?
Guys, I did it. Let's go for a walk down, am I?
Oh yeah.
I have a wet butt.
Hold on, stay there.
We did it. Well, honestly, it felt like a few seconds, but now we're just having to deal with the after effects of feeling a little bit nauseous and a bit lightheaded. So we took one of the minibuses to the airfield. Yeah, we got loaded into this really small plane. It took off. Honestly, I didn't even feel it take off.
Yeah, it was...
It was just like, wow, we're in the air already. And then we were being strapped into the instructor. I think we were in the sky for like 5 to 10 minutes, we said?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got up to 15,000 feet, and I went third, you went fourth.
Yep.
And honestly, you just hang out the plane, and before you can even like fathom how high you are, you're just off and you're just free falling. And I felt like we were free falling for such a long time. I was like, is this parachute even gonna come out? I was gonna tap him like...
When in reality, it's only 60 seconds.
I know. And yeah, they definitely make a good chat with you, don't they?
Oh, they definitely do.
Yeah, so you go through all of the safety measures and they put the harness on and tighten you up, and our time actually got moved. So we were supposed to go at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they sent us an email saying we've been moved to 9. I think that's just purely because I think we were the only people on the plane, and of course that's not really going to be viable. So yeah, we got all strapped in, we got into the minibus and then went up in the plane, and yeah, everyone's super friendly. I found that. My instructor was just trying to make conversation, make you feel comfortable, and constantly asking how you're feeling.
Well,
did you get that?
I didn't get how I was feeling.
I was like, are you feeling okay? 'Cause he knew that I don't like heights and I'm skydiving.
Yeah. No, mine, I was just so interested in how it all worked, so I think he could sense I was pretty okay with it. Because I was like, so what happens when the parachute comes out? Is that the button you pull? Like, I was just so intrigued in how it all worked, and the numbers they'd yell down the plane to work out.
So they definitely make conversation with you to make you feel comfortable and kind of gauge how you're feeling. And I was most intrigued about how many times someone had passed out with my instructor that I had. And he was actually from the UK. He was from the UK, so I think we also had, I didn't ask, but it sounded like there was another 2 females as well who were English. Yeah. So
they were paying, like they weren't instructors though.
No, there were people who were also doing the dive with us.
Yeah.
So there was quite a lot of English people. And yeah, then when you get out the plane, you just have to hang on kind of to your straps and just like and then by the time you even get the chance to think about anything, you're flying down. But I don't think you actually fathom how fast you're going. You just hear all this wind go shh, and it's so cold. It's the pressure though that I recognized on your skin. Did you? Yeah, like I just felt so much, like I feel like my face was like being pulled back like the funny movies. So you have to wear these goggles and they do it really tight, so it was actually really painful here. And even though I had these goggles on, my eyes were watering. Well, I was going to say, this one here felt like I was drowning. It was just because it was watering so bad. Yeah. So that was an experience. I don't really know how the eyes were watering so badly because we had these big goggles on. But yeah, they had the GoPro and they do these really funny interviews, as you guys would have seen from the clips now. Really strange interview, like, how are you feeling? And he would do like the spin. He was just such you got such a bubbly guy. Yeah. He was so funny. Yeah, anyway, it felt really cold. I felt really cold, and you know that's why they gave us the gloves and everything, so I hadn't literally freeze. But it was, I found it really hard to catch a breath because the air was going past so fast. I was kind of like, just relax and breathe. I kind of had to have a talk to myself for a second. But so many things were going over my mind. I was like, don't dunk me in the ocean. That's the last thing I told me. I was like, oh, how many sharks are in the ocean? Can I see any sharks? He was asking me, so I was like, I'm actually wondering how many sharks are in the ocean. Can I see any sharks? You and the sharks. I know. But then I was also thinking, oh, I have the world's biggest wedgie. And don't lose my shoes because you have to tie up your shoes really tight, and I kept feeling like they were going to fall off. Yeah. I felt like mine were going to come off, and I did them really tight. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, the parachute still hasn't been pulled. You know, what's going on here? How far are we going to be close to the ground before he whaps out the parachute? I was also thinking, I wonder how high Mount Everest is compared to this and how cold it is up there. That's kind of another thought that was in my mind. It's very up close, very personal, as it needs to be. So you're tied in very tight to the instructor. You get a tap on the shoulder to say that it's okay to have your arms out like Superman. Yeah.
Do you know what I didn't really fathom or comprehend until we landed?
I also have a cold coffee, so I'm making the most of it.
How much trust we just put into somebody we have no idea about. Like, we knew nothing about them, their capabilities. Like, then, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. I was like, but then I thought, you know, if I go down, they'll be going down too. With anything like this, extreme kind of things, you do need to sign waivers. And you're reading through the waivers in case of death. And you're in this, like, little shaky plane.
Yeah,
we were like,
rattling, smelling all the fuel as we get on.
When you're up in the air and you have the parachute up and you're just kind of flying,
it's really cool.
It's really magical, because then you can just, everything kind of stands still for a second and you just float. And I had a go at doing the parachute, and I didn't actually realise how hard it is to turn this thing.
Yeah, that's what
and
I
they were
thought.
just yanking it like there was nothing. And I was like, heave!
I know. He had to help me pull it down. I was like, what the hell?
I guess they're just used to it, but...
I also think, though, it's different because it's so far back, our arms are so far back.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
If it was us, we'd be more able to pull down.
They do quite a few skydives every day, and it was really interesting, like their stories and stuff. So the instructor that I had, he's got another 3 today, so he said I'll be done by noon. But this drop that he has skydiving has taken him all around the world, and he has decided to stay in Australia because he loves it here so much. And you know, I even said to him, me just moving country once, it's incredibly exhausting, and he found the same. So anyway, it was quite cool to hear that this is the place that he chose to settle. Yeah. But anyway, the landing part was actually the most nerve-wracking for me, because I feel like you just come in so quickly, because when you're up in the sky you don't actually realize how far you're going, and it's really cool because everything just looks really small.
Yeah.
But when you come down to landing, things just happen in a second, I find.
Yeah.
And you just kind of brace and hope that you don't break an ankle or worse.
Yeah.
But you just tuck your legs in and they pretty much do the rest. So it's a very few simple moves that you have to remember. So that's the main things when you're skydiving, is getting the positions right.
Yeah.
And yeah, the instructor just does the rest. But the main thing is, was it worth it for you?
Oh,
this is
big
happy,
yes.
Happy late birthday. This is his birthday late weekend.
Yeah. I had so much fun doing it.
Did you?
Yeah, so much fun. I thought that was one of the greatest experiences.
Kind of expected.
And more.
Really?
Yeah, there's a few things that were a little bit different to how I imagined them to be.
And what was that?
Mainly jumping out of the plane. I always imagined you'd be so high up. Longer? No, I'd always imagined you wouldn't register how far the ground is. But when you're up there and I look down, my stomach did go, oh dear. And then they don't give you a second to comprehend it, you just fall.
Yeah, so you just kind of pop out one after the other, don't you?
Yeah.
I found that I thought we'd be hanging off the plane for a bit longer.
Yeah.
And like looking down, but you just kind of hang off for 1 second, not even, and then he just flings you off.
Yeah.
And that's the bit, the flinging. And because if you haven't ever experienced skydiving before, or that kind of free falling, your heart is in your mouth.
Yeah.
Because it's just nothing. You're just falling through the air.
Yeah. Yeah. My stomach was just like up.
Did it go up? No, I didn't find that.
But I get motion sickness, like on boats and stuff. So that's all it was. It was just, I could feel, I was like, it's just my croissant coming up. That's all it was. I was like, damn, I shouldn't have eaten that.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's actually why I was really needing the toilet, and the safety harness was pushing right on my bladder, and I was just kind of clenched.
Yeah.
But that's actually the main reason why I didn't drink lots of liquids, because once you're strapped in, there's no way of going to the toilet.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely try not to eat too much before you free fall.
Yeah, I'm not sold. I'm like, should you have an empty stomach or a really full stomach? Because I've got that
have in
between. I've got the in between, and that's
but you
what
didn't have a lot. We had a bowl of oats.
Yeah.
And you had a more croissant.
Yeah.
Croissant.
And coffee floating around.
Yeah,
but it was a really great experience.
Yeah.
And I would want to do it again.
Yeah.
But
it was my greatest fear.
Yeah. And I'm actually really proud of you for doing that.
Yeah.
You did it so tough. Like, you didn't show any fear in the plane.
No.
Like, I wouldn't have guessed it was a fear if I didn't know you. Yeah.
I didn't feel frightened.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't scared. I think it's very different when you're on the ground, but high up on the ground, rather than in a plane looking down.
Yeah.
That way. If that kind of makes sense.
No, it does. It does. It's a different feeling of being at a height. Does that make sense?
The coldness that it was really, really bitterly cold.
But only for a second.
I found it for a long time.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I felt after the free fall I was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, conquering my greatest fear. I don't think I could get higher than this now.
No.
We might think of something, but
we'll think of something.
Apparently you can't really go up higher because of the lack of oxygen. That's what he said.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, oh, can you go higher than 15,000 feet? And he was like, no. So I was like, oh, good. So this is the biggest I can actually get from my fear of heights.
We'll get a mask, oxygen mask.
Now that it's actually done, I think the whole experience just went so quickly that I'm kind of sitting here now thinking, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Did that just happen, really? Because you're only falling for a minute or two.
Yeah.
But it does feel a lot longer when you're actually up there, but yeah, I think I tried to hold it together because it's kind of like when you're up in the plane, there's no way of coming down really unless you actually fall down. In the parachute and stuff. Yeah. So that's just the way it's going to be, and I think it's quite comforting because it's not just you flinging yourself out of the plane.
Yeah.
It's someone else. I think this is why they ask you, are you nervous? Because if they give you that 2 seconds out of the plane, then people will be like holding on for dear life and be like, no, 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 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you'd be going anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
So they just fling you out, and then you just, you're in the air. Is that girl still sitting there?
Yeah, she is crook. She is not feeling good.
The girl is still sitting there who's not very well.
We did check in on her to make sure she was okay, but maybe she did a few more spins.
Greatest fear of heights. I don't think I can get any more than that, so relieved a little bit. Would I do it again?
Yes.
Probably. But that was time to fly, and we flew. Ooh. And it's super cool, but now we're going to go and get some actual food because I'm actually feeling a really tad lightheaded, and I think that's because I'm so dehydrated right now. But we're actually quite lucky with the weather, so it was actually really beautiful. On the way down it was really clear. I did ask him, I said, can you jump through clouds? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, you should be able to. But you got to make sure there's not too much rain in them or close to the ground. Right. Yeah, okay. But he's like these ones we could jump through them if we wanted to. Yeah. But we didn't. No, we didn't need to because it was a really nice day. But anyway, it was super cool. And if anyone hasn't done it, then I definitely would recommend it. It's good to face our fears, and definitely did that one today. So feeling happy. But now we're going to go on get some food first, and then probably go on a trail run. We've been camping for the past few days, and I think we'll be going home tomorrow, won't we? Yeah. Home tomorrow. 2 more adventures. I just feel it. Am I gonna have to get you a bucket? No, I don't think so. But then every now and again I'm like, yes, for a split second, but then I'm like, oh no, you're okay. Oh, maybe. Actually, I don't know. Give me 5 minutes. Not 5, but you know.